Hi, welcome to my NDM Negotiation and Deal Making Research Case Study presentation. Terrence Howard negotiates with Marvel Studios for the supporting role of Lieutenant Colonel James Rhodes, aka Rhodey, in the movie Iron Man 2, presented by Queen Aljaye Tide Searles, Entertainment Business Masters of Science graduate student at Full Sail University. The conflict appears to have arisen from Terrence Howard having been the financial benefactor of being the first artist who signed on to the original blockbuster movie Iron Man. Apparently, based on prior negotiations, Terrence Howard expected that he would be casted as superhero sidekick War Machine in the sequel Iron Man 2 at a reasonable salary. Whereas Marvel Studios representatives plan to save face from the negotiation snafu that occurred under the Iron Man contract. Sources report that under said deal, Howard was the highest paid actor in the movie. Howard earned a leading man salary for his co-starring role in Iron Man. Marvel Studios purportedly offered Howard's agents a deal that represented a whopping 50 to 80% cut in Howard's anticipated compensation. Marvel Studios' perspective was that Terrence Howard was grossly overpaid for his supporting role in Iron Man, and supposedly his on-set performance was difficult during the filming of the movie. Howard's supporting role in Iron Man 2 would be less significant, and his compensation should be commensurate with the industry standards for an artist in a supporting role. Terrence Howard and his representatives were unaware of any difficulties that occurred during the filming of Iron Man. Howard maintained, in addition to being the first to sign on to the original movie, he consulted with Marvel Studios in identifying the ideal actor to portray Iron Man. Howard refused to be underpaid for his role in elevating the Iron Man movie and helping set the stage for the sequel. Howard's agents considered a 50 to 80% cut to the original contract a ridiculous offer. Terrence Howard insisted on receiving just compensation for a job well done. His primary objective is to peacefully prosper by providing pristine theatrical performances that honor his ancestry and build a foundation for eternal wealth to exist for his posterity. Marvel Studios is interested in cutting costs by any means necessary, short of compromising product quality. Their major concern is to produce a sequel that yields net increases and escalating profits. The core concepts to be analyzed relative to the negotiations between the parties include objective criteria, dirty tricks, and having a carefully planned batten-up. In an effort to separate the people from the problem, Marvel Studios used compensation that the supporting cast members in Iron Man earned as the basis for the drastic reduction in their offer to Howard for Iron Man 2. They employed psychological tricks that will be addressed in greater detail throughout the presentation. They also developed an infallible batten-up to replace one iconic Oscar-nominated actor with an equally talented Oscar-nominated actor. Marvel Studios successfully used game theory to accomplish their goal of separating the people from the problem. It is uncustomary for a supporting actor to be paid more than the leading actor when working on the same film. Thus, to save face and not make the same mistake twice, the scope of War Machine's character was scaled down. This opened the door for renegotiation of Howard's contract. Marvel made an unduly unattractive offer that provoked a negative response from Howard's agents. when Howard played into Marvel's dirty trick by blowing off their ridiculous offer. Without procrastination, Marvel implemented their BATNA. Their decision was made final. Howard was out and Shadow was in as the new Marvel hero War Machine. Marvel Studios succeeded in achieving their interest to reduce production costs while maintaining quality. Terrence Howard's executive management team was unprepared to negotiate a mutually beneficial breakthrough deal. Apparently, they relied too heavily on the premise that Howard had an entitlement to the role of War Machine. They neglected to anticipate conflict from the previous salary controversy and further failed to plan an effective strategy to adequately resolve prior conflict. Their predictable reaction locked negotiations between the parties. This paved the way for Marvel agents to implement their more attractive BATNA. No matter what the impasse was about, interests of the parties should have remained the focal point. A fixation on positions resulted in leaving a potential gold mine of opportunity on the table. It is my opinion that Howard's team could have used what Fisher and Uri described as negotiation jujitsu to counter Marvel's positional bargaining strategies. The negotiations became locked when Howard's team refused to plan an effective response that may have enhanced the negotiation process. Marvel had no incentive to keep the negotiation with Howard alive because their BATNA represented a better corporate strategy. Although Terrence Howard expressed being surprised and hurt about the Iron Man 2 negotiations, in an interview with E! Online, he insisted that there is no lingering acrimony about the move. He stated that despite the customary idea or thought that there's some controversy, it was a wonderful split. Quote, Marvel and I are now working out doing some other things. This indicates that there is a window of opportunity for future negotiations. Achieving mastery in the science of reaching mutually beneficial agreements based on good faith negotiations requires a solid foundation of the fundamental principles related to conducting various win-win business transactions. These deals are structured on principled negotiation techniques that address the 5 emotional core concerns rather than on pressure and coercion. When these concepts are ignored or otherwise neglected, wise agreements may not ensue. In the case study presented herein, negotiations primarily stalled due to an apparent compensatory dispute among the parties. In this case, relationships were not irreparably damaged. Each party's BATNA in this case was sufficient for the parties to maintain a positive rapport. When Terrence Howard stated the split was good, he was letting Marvel and the world know that he was happy with his BATNA. The stalemate with Marvel afforded Howard the opportunity to engage in soulful introspection. He was able to revisit the why he works pertinaciously to hone his skills as an actor. Howard was able to spend time with his children, express himself melodically, use his other talents to do good deeds for neighbors, and most importantly, he had time to grieve and heal from his mother's homegoing. For additional information regarding the presentation, please consult the references herein. Thank you